Good evening, I'm Steve Williams. With me, Brian Lowe from RugbyLeaguePlanet.com, and welcome to Game 1 of the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup Qualifiers, coming to you live from the University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida. Tonight's game between the USA Hawks and Jamaica Reggae Warriors, part of a 3-game series between the USA, Canada and Jamaica to see who will go to the 2017 Rugby League World Cup. Brian, I know it's more than just my nerves. There is a general sense of excitement about this tournament, a lot at stake for these teams and nations. What can we expect from these teams over the next 3 games?
Well, you're dead right about the excitement. That's simply because there's so much on the line. Everybody wants to get to the big dance in 2017, as you said. Look, we've had a look at the rosters of all 3 teams, and at first glance, they would appear to be fairly evenly matched. That's good, because that means we're looking forward to a competitive series. As for who's going to be the favourites, probably Canada, based on recent form.
And so for these 2 teams tonight, 2011 was the last time these 2 teams met. USA easily defeating Jamaica back then by a score of 40 points to 4. But Jamaica since then really has grown in terms of players' numbers and is a full member nation of the International Federation. Will we see a different team than 4 years ago?
Well, definitely going to see a different team. They picked a bunch of heritage players based in the UK. Look, they're ranked number 29 in the world. That's not great. They're only 2-8 overall all-time. That's not very flashy either. But all that's put aside tonight for this game. They've picked a bunch of experienced players. I think what we're going to see from the Jamaican team tonight is they're going to spin the ball out wide. They're going to try to anyway, because that's where they've got speed. That's where they've got their experience. They're going to try and punch holes in the American defense, and hopefully they'll carry it on from there.
And so for the USA team, where do we even start? The USA, new national governing body in the USARL, less than 12 months to pull together an international program. A majority of these players pulled from the USARL competition. Is this a better team than the one that competed 4 years ago at the qualifiers?
Yeah, short answer, no. And you have to base that on recent form. They've been swept by the Canadians in the Colonial Cup. In fact, they've lost the last 3 games to the Canadians. They lost the last 2 games before that. They're on a 5-game losing streak. But this is a different team. We'll see what happens tonight.
And so some familiar faces from that 2013 World Cup squad. But is this a case of shock and awe versus shock the world? The majority of these players from the local competition. What do we expect from this team?
I think you're expecting, well, we can expect to see a lot of good things. Look, they picked a new captain, Mark Offerdale. He was an integral part of the big run in 2013 when the US got all the way to the quarterfinals of the World Cup that time. I think what you're going to see from the US, though, is hitting it up through the forwards. It's going to be pretty basic, fundamental kind of football. They're going to try and pin the Jamaicans in their own quarter.
Right. And so when we talk about an X factor, the name Brian McDermott has to be the first one that comes to mind. Recently won the award for the best coach of the year in the UK, 2015 Super League champions, 2015 Challenge Cup champions. Arguably one of the best coaches in the world, but the USA team, mostly amateurs. How does this even work?
Look, in a word, simplicity. He's only been here, McDermott, since the beginning of the week. He's only had a few short days to get to know the team because he didn't know anyone from Bar and Soap when he got here, nor did they know him. In that time, he's managed to articulate very clearly what he expects from them individually and as a team. And as I said, I think we're going to see them stick to a pretty basic, fundamental kind of football, no frills, and take it on from there.
And so will his presence in the locker room be the difference? Which one of the USA or Jamaica players will make their mark tonight? We'll find out soon enough. Coming up, the USA versus Jamaica Reggae Warriors, Game 1 of the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup Qualifiers.
So all the players are pretty G'd up, Steve. We've been talking to them throughout the week as they've been arriving in town for this. And, everybody ready to go.
It's a really nice mix, this USA team, in terms of the way it's come together from the lead up into this tournament. Both Colonial Cup games was an excellent opportunity for the USA teams to really vet through these players, many of them with inexperience. Some of them only played 1 or 2 years of rugby league. But that balance of bringing the players from the 2013 World Cup squad into this has created this nice sort of formula, and there's a general sense of excitement about this team.
Yeah, and I like the mix. If you look at the lineup there, you can tell. You can see the mix of the heritage players and the homegrown talent.
Yeah, and at fullback there we got Corey Maitland, and then on right wing Taylor Howden, right centre Taylor Arlo, on the left centre Danny Howard, on the left wing Mike Tempano, and at 5'8" there Rich Hansen. Number 7, Matt Walsh. And then we've got Steve Howard and Mark Offerdale in the front row with Christian Freed playing in the hooker row. In the second row, Abe Cohen and Clacy Clark, and then that lock position filled by John Purnell. On the bench, Ryan Burrows, Nick Newland, Andrew Neasley, and Sam Carson.
I think the selection of Freed at hooker is a very interesting one because normally he plays, he's been playing in the Intra Super Cup in Queensland, he plays in the centres.
Well, he had a terrific pre-game working through with McDermott, and he put his hand up for the number 9 position and said that he'd like to take on that role. And for the Jamaica side, at fullback, Wayne Retty. On the wing, right wing, Alex Brown. In the centres, Richard Barnett, Ronalds Wade. Left wing, Omari Cairo. At 5/8 position, Joel Farrell. At the scrum half and halfback position, Daniel Thomas. In the front row, Antonio Baker and Marvin Thompson. Ross Peltier, and at the hooker position, Marvin Thompson. In the second row, Nathan Campbell and Corey Hansen. In the lock position, Lamont Bryan. On the interchange bench, Joe Bryan, Tyrone Rowe, Ryan Grant, and Mo Agaro.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Steve, to see how they go. As we've been talking about, they've picked a lot of guys from the who are playing in the UK, and they're mixing it in with their homegrown guys. We'll see.
And tonight's officials, Stephen Ganson blowing the main referee whistle, and then supporting him with Christopher Kendall and Robert Hicks. The interchange officials, Alan Shimolinsky and Ricardo Bramwell. Scoreboard operator, John Freeman.
And Firehouse Subs have over 900 restaurants across the USA, Canada, the Caribbean and Mexico. As the official title sponsor for the Rugby League World Cup qualifiers, we want to thank them for bringing this event to the United States. You can visit them at firehousesubs.com.
Getting ready to have kickoff underway. Get ready for the national anthem. Jamaica national anthem, Land of the Free. Land we love. Now we get ready for the USA national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. There we are, both teams getting ready to go out there. USA looks like they're on the left side, northern end of the stadium. Well, the southern end of the stadium, they'll be kicking into the breeze.
Yeah, Jamaica's going to have that pretty stiff wind at their backs, and they're going to want to, as we said earlier, they're going to want to take advantage of that if they can.
It's going to be a great first 10 minutes because we'll really get to see the test of both teams here in terms of the style that they want to play this game. And like any typical game, we're going to want to go through that softening period with the forwards of doing their work, but you really can't expect Jamaica to want to throw that ball out wide early.
Oh yeah, and then that's going to test the American D. We're going to see if they're up to it.
Getting ready here, game one of the Firehouse Subs, USA versus Jamaica, and there's the kickoff. We hope you've enjoyed this tournament as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Short kickoff there. Jamaica there, not getting much yardage up front. Ball on the 30-yard line. USA driving in defense.
Yeah,
pushing
some good
them back.
tackling there, good.
Slow play the ball. Jamaica simple stuff, one up the middle. Back on the inside, kicking early. Catching the USA off guard there. This is their first opportunity with the ball.
That was Corey Makelin with his first touch in the US red, white and blue.
There's Danny Howard running up the middle, almost high there.
Yeah, managed to get under that one.
Christian Freed actually in the dummy half roll wearing number 2.
That was the skipper Offerdale, took it up.
Cool, big hit there, Casey Clark. Third tackle. Little scoot from dummy half. Christian Freed, easy meters.
Right away, Steve, we see the Americans making a lot more ground than the Jamaicans did with their first possession.
It's not a bad set there. Matt Clark getting the kick away. It's been charged down.
Got to be 6 to go, yeah.
6 more tackles. They'll enjoy that. Taylor Howden with his first touch of the ball. And he's already broken through 1 tackle. Offerdale wearing number 9. Normally number 10. USA in good position here on the 20-yard line. They weren't expecting to get in this position so early.
Yeah, they're just showing some patience there. The Americans working the ball into the quarter.
They'll be looking to do simple passes, simple sets. It's a little
There
chip
we go.
there.
There's
Oh, there's an
a
opportunity.
mistake. Oh!
Tempano there knocking the ball on.
Yeah, that was the mistake we were talking about. They were looking for the Jamaicans to make. Unfortunately, on that occasion, Timpano coughed it up as he tried to scoop it up.
But enterprising stuff from the USA team. Jamaica getting the ball back. They'll be slightly relieved with that set. Not much happening for Jamaica in the first part. The ball coming out. Referees calling the ball stripped. Howard doesn't agree with it. Kicking with that breeze behind them. Referee looks like they're asking him to kick the ball again from the mark that he's positioned.
It's been a little bit scrappy from the Jamaican point of view to start with, Steve. And we'll see if they can tidy things up. But, you know, they are rusty. They haven't played for a long time.
That's a great kick for touch, though, in these conditions to be able to get that much yardage.
Americans haven't missed a tackle yet, but we haven't spoken too soon from their point of view.
Laying them on in the tackle. USA moving up in defense. Jamaica looking to push that ball wide. We knew they'd go out wide early.
Nice tackle there by the US.
Jamaica now just entered USA territory.
US doing a good job here of wrapping up the ball player every time.
Jamaica's looking for those penalties of laying in the tackle. The USA just hanging in there long enough and then getting back onside. One of the areas that was stressed by Coach McDermott.
Yeah, they're going for the short passes.
This is hot dog stuff, and then unnecessary little panic football, little way too early there. USA content to get the ball back. They'll have the feed for the scrum.
Yeah, first scrum of the game. Referee laying down the law here. Let's see what transpires. It's always an interesting facet of the game, isn't it, the scrum these days?
And not the physical start that we were looking for. A bit of ball movement from the Jamaica team, the USA. Pushing, oh, that's a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
And that is just unnecessary and giving away a penalty way early in the tackle count. The USA will benefit from that.
You know, in the NRL, he would have been put on report and sent off.
He would have been on report.
He would have been
That's exactly right.
Yep.
But they're taking the quick tap there, and Offerdale off to a charging run, catching Jamaica napping. Freed there at dummy half. USA, great position. That scooting run from Freed. Making easy meters into the 40-yard line. They'll be happy with this so far. Taylor Alley going for the outside ball there. See what Howden can do. Looks like he's going to get driven into touch. Be unhappy with that.
Well, you can see the thought was there. The enterprising thinking was there. He tried to overlap the Jamaicans out wide and do that long floating pass. Just didn't quite work out on that occasion. But still, the Americans have been, they've had all the territory and most of the possession so far.
But again, a turnover, unnecessary, forcing that pass. That wasn't in the playing cards for the USA, and now Jamaica with the ball back on their 30-yard line. There you go, looking to do the speed, the caught out wide. Jamaica cutting back in, easy meters. That's a great driving tackle. Second tackle for Jamaica on the 50-yard line. Quick play the ball. Bulldozing run. Jamaica making good yards with this set. Ball popped out. The referee says it looks like it's a US
Should be a US put in because he came off the Jamaican hand there, that's right. Look, the official media partner for the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup qualifiers is Southeast Orthopaedic Specialists. Southeast Ortho have provided services to the Jacksonville Axemen and other local teams for over 10 years. You can visit them at se-ortho.com.
It's the USA on the 30-yard line, feeding the scrum. There's Timpano pushing the ball, Squirrel as we like to call him. The 40-yard line, great run from him there. Second tackle. Ball popped out. Barnstorming tackle there. That's a heavy hit. Ball knocked back though. Casey Clark with the ball. Not much happening. Keeping it simple, the US.
Is that Howard again, Steve Howard? He's been involved a lot early on, hasn't he?
He really has. He's been working in there as well as Offerdale.
Yeah, they've each had about 3-4 hit-ups altogether.
Jamaica, they're touching the ball, getting the ball back on the 20-yard line. USA are very quick in the play the ball and making a lot of easy yardage in their sets. Jamaica, not so much. They're pushing it, panicking. And
yeah, the US does make more ground when they have the ball, don't they? And they like those tackles.
25-year-old, third tackle. And the referee calling too much holding in the tackle. It looks like John Purnell there. Jamaica getting a break, reset the tackle count, and with the penalty they will kick for extra field advantage. And if those of you that don't know the rules of rugby league, when you get a penalty, you get to kick the ball, or what they call into touch, which is all over the sideline. And where that ball crosses the line is where they will play the ball on the 40-yard line with the tackle count to reset to 0 and 6 more tackles or downs for our American fans. Almost through there, Jamaica, losing the ball, and another opportunity lost. The USA, they'll be happy to get the ball back.
Yeah, 6 to go, the referee said, and it's US ball. And there's Offerdale again, crunching it up.
Doing a great job there.
He is. He's leading by example, isn't he?
It looks like a one-on-one strip, and the referee is calling. That was 2 in the tackle, the strip there. So the USA lucky with that. And again, for those new to the rugby league, oh, here we go. Is that Rich Henson there in the?
Oh, he would have felt that one.
Both times electing not to kick the ball for extra field advantage and running, hoping to get the Jamaica team napping. Great field position at the 30-yard line. Abe Cohen, big hit there by Jamaica. He'll be feeling that one.
Oh, boy, that was.
Straight through, Offerdale. Doing a great job. He might be over. He's going to go on to score. That's the USA on the board. Offerdale. Really something from nothing there. 10 yards out. He broke through the first tackle, but he still had plenty of work to do, and he was able to cut through that line, beat a couple of defenders, and go over. Just shy, just to the left of the post. Great start for the USA. They'll be happy with this.
We had just got through saying he was leading by example. He's had 3 or 4 hit-ups already, about as many tackles, and that time he just wouldn't be denied. He busted at least 3 tackles on the way to the try line, and it's try time USA.
Fantastic. Mike Tempano, the kicker for the US team. Kicking into a stiff breeze, looking to kick the ball to the left, watch it push right. What do you like about these teams so far, Brian?
Look, I like the Americans' enthusiasm. Like I said before, they seem to make more ground every time they've got possession than do the Jamaicans. The Americans are they haven't missed very many tackles yet, and whereas Jamaica, you know, they're sticking to the short passes, and they're not making a lot of headway. Now and then out wide, yes, they get around. They might evade the first tackle or so, but that's about it. I don't think their game plan is that great just now.
And it seems that they're really rushing the play and not understanding the momentum of the game and really doing that extra work in their forwards early. And that's a beautiful kick by Mike Tempano there, bringing the USA to a score of 6-0. Great start for the USA. Jamaica, they'll be disappointed. Not the start they were looking for. And so for fans that need to understand how the series work for the 3-game series, of course, the team that wins the most games will in fact go on to the Rugby League World Cup. But if we have a tied series, then it will come down to averages of for and against. And so points are important, really, every time they score.
Yeah, and tries too. That always comes into the mix when you're talking tie break, doesn't it? It's how many tries, it's your points differential, and then of course it's head-to-heads. But yeah, look, we've had 12, 13 minutes of this game so far, and the US on top 6-0.
Brian McDermott will be very happy with the start. And boy, you can just see how strong that breeze is out there. They're having difficulty getting the ball on, even on the tee.
Yep.
Jamaica player having to hold the ball down. Matty Walsh taking the ball, surrendering in the tackle, and Jamaica looking to push them behind the goal line, but nothing happening. On the 5-yard, free to dummy half. There's Danny Howard, the Howard brothers, both representing the USA, both represented the USA in the 2013 Rugby League World Cup.
Yeah, we first saw them in Philadelphia during the 2011 qualifying series.
Oh, and that's a mistake from the USA team, losing the ball on that tackle. Steve Howard, Jamaica in excellent field position, 20 yards out. This will be their first real opportunity in USA territory. Let's see how they can capitalize on this.
No, they're not giving too much away in their way they've set up at the moment. It's gone left.
He broke through the first tackle.
Yeah.
They move quickly, don't they? They're big steps.
Yeah, that's the 5'8" Joel Farrell.
The referee calling another penalty there. The USA holding down at the tackle.
Now, here's why I always say you take the kick when the points are on offer, especially in a game like this. But no,
Jamaica looking to score and
yeah.
Not too far out for the try line. 5 yards out, second tackle. Great defense from the US.
And again,
holding Jamaica out.
I think that was Steve Howard making that tackle.
Slipping in there. No advantage on the play. Jamaica losing ground, it looks like, trying to break through, back on the 10-yard line. Fourth tackle, pushing to the blind side.
And again, what happened that time, Steve? The man took the eye off the ball, and that was the center there, Ronaldo Wade.
Looked like a knock on both ways with the USA to come up best with that result and put the feed into the scrum, and they will get the ball back on the 10-yard line.
I stand corrected. That was Corey Hansen who spilled that one. Now we'll see again whether the US makes a lot of ground from this this set play in their own quarter.
Taylor Alley getting involved in the game early. Taylor Howden.
Taylor made this team, aren't they?
But the USA, they'll be happy with the sets so far. Again, trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, again, it comes down to what Coach McDermott told them he wanted from them during the week, during their practicing. You know, nothing fancy.
Casey Clark not making much, losing yardage in that play. US quick play the ball again. Matt looking to kick. That breeze really not giving them much advantage in that play.
You know, Steve, we haven't seen as much kicking in general play from the US as we expected.
With the breeze, they're looking to run it as much as possible. I understand that it's kicking into a wall when they throw that ball up in the air.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a major factor in the adjustment of the game plan there.
Jamaica on the 40-yard line, not making much ground. Third tackle. US quickly rushing up in defense. On the blind side, down the right.
I was about to say, looked like a slight knock on in that play of the ball, not to mention the fact that I didn't think the guy picked it up cleanly anyway.
And the USA will be happy with that result.
Another error. That's three major turnovers now by the Jamaicans. This one not so damaging, you wouldn't think, because it's on the halfway line. But if the US, you know, gets a quick play of the ball from here and spins it out wide, you never know. They've got some speed to burn out there.
And it has been a quick game overall, even though we've seen a couple of errors. This is a fast-paced game that we're starting with.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the surface of the playing field too, because it did rain earlier, didn't it?
It is a dry surface, this one here at UNF, and the mixture of sand in there is the Bermuda-style grass. It's a flat surface. It's quite hard.
Oh, that was a flat pass right there. They got away with that one.
Slightly forward there, but the referee didn't call it. Great run there from Freed at dummy half. Again, almost through the gap.
He does break away. Oh, look, he had men out wide to the right. He looked the other way.
Still going, scooting. Christian Freed, he's causing havoc out there. Jamaica really having a difficult time with him. Matty Walsh holding that ball up perfectly. Casey Clark getting involved, and USA in great position. Right-hand side, he's got to be over again.
No, I think that you'll find that was a... Oh,
the referee's called it.
It looked like a forward shovel pass to me.
Taylor Howard in spectacular fashion, diving over in the corner, making it look sensational, making it look easy. Taylor, a rugby sevens player and really used to scoring with style. USA on the board again. And how quickly the scoreline racks up. The USA 10, Jamaica 0. And we are only 18 minutes into the game.
Look, not exactly the start we had expected, because we did think the Jamaicans were going to throw it out wide more than they have and try and, you know, open up the American defense out there, but it hasn't really happened. And you've got to credit the Hawks, because their defense has been pretty stout so far.
Great defense, but also applying great pressure and attack, not doing anything too fancy. They're really moving the ball solidly up the middle, and then once they get in Jamaica's half, that's when they're pushing the ball and maybe being a little bit more enterprising with the play, but they're really keeping this simple depending on which half you're in.
Yeah, no, that's obviously one of McDermott's keys there. Like we said in the pregame set, you've got to play your basic fundamental football, which is hitting it up through the forwards. If you're going to pass it, make them short, sharp, clean passes, and that's for the most part what's been going on here. And the Jamaicans, on the other hand, haven't been able to defend against that so well.
And it's been costly for them. 20 minutes into the game, and they're down by a score of 10-0. Difficult kick, right foot kick for Tempano. The breeze pushing. Squirrel could kick it from anywhere, but this one just pushed to the left-hand side. Score remains at 10 points to 0, 20 minutes into the game. This is game one of the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup qualifiers between the USA Hawks and Jamaica Reggae Warriors.
And a special thank you to the law officers of John Phillips for bringing us the Jacksonville Axe Maidens performance for personal injury, criminal defense and family law. And you can find them at floridajustice.com. Well, Steve, I think Jamaica at this point, okay, they're only down 10, but we're halfway through the first half. Really, they've got to be the next team to score if they want to contend and stay in touch, don't they?
This game could get away from them if they don't take advantage and really start holding onto the ball instead of trying to do this flamboyant style of play, which isn't working against this solid US team. And there's that mistake they were looking for. Great opportunity now given to Jamaica, and here we are, the USA. That breeze just pushed that ball right over the head of Matt Walsh, bouncing into touch. And the US, they'll have to kick the ball, drop kick out. And Jamaica, this is a great opportunity, exactly what they were looking for. Let's see what they can do with it.
That's an atypical error on the part of Matt Walsh, I will say, because normally he's pretty, Johnny on the spot and the money man when it comes to stuff like that. But as you say, possibly swirling in the stiff breeze here tonight.
And again, you see that kick not going too far, only 40 yards out, and Jamaica looking to take advantage of this. 20 yards out, first tackle. USA so solid in defense, not happening.
Yeah, that's that Nathan Campbell, number 11 there for Jamaica. He's had a pretty good half so far.
The gap opened up but closed very quickly.
Yep, good tackling by the Hawks, and that's what they want to keep doing.
There's an opportunity for Jamaica. He's getting very close there.
Oh boy, that was Ross Peltier. Got very close, within inches.
Deep ball back. Not much going on there, and he spilled the ball over. It looks like it was touched by the USA player there. Jamaica will get the ball back. Loose head and feed to them.
Yeah, I didn't pick up which player it was, but obviously he was going for the interception there. And, probably a low percentage play, you would have thought.
Unnecessary there, trying to reach out. But, boy, if that ball positions itself in front of you, it's just natural instinct to want to go for it.
Yeah, you can't help yourself sometimes, can you?
Teams packing down. The USA will enjoy the break, but we'll be back on defense. Jamaica there. Trying to push it out wide. They're going for the speed. And
nice tackle there by Freed again. Boy, he's been everywhere.
He's been busy today.
I tell you what, he's making a good fist of hooker. I've never seen him play hooker before.
On the blind side, they're pushing it. Jamaica almost losing the ball.
I thought that was a little forward too, actually. They seem to be getting away with those ones tonight. Both teams.
Second tackle on the 10-yard line. No advantage in that play.
Oh, that's a soft penalty right there because he was trying to get out of the way. Freed was trying to get off. I think he was being held on top of the player, actually.
And Steve Howard looking to jump in there just to make sure that Freed is not being pushed around and let him know that the USA will not stand for being pushed.
Now the referee's going to bring out the US and give him a bit of a talking to. I don't know. I thought it was a bit of a soft one.
He did look like he was being held in the tackle, but full credit to Jamaica for making that tackle happen.
And will they take the two? Will they've got the points? No, they won't.
They're going on the attack again, and this is their third opportunity. And you would really hope that for Jamaica's sake that they're able to come away with it. And that's a driving defense by the US. Geez, that will give them confidence.
Look at that! Pushed them right back to the what's that?
20-yard
line. Yeah.
Second tackle. Jamaica on the attack.
And they gave it to their big man in Peltier. He seems to be the go-to guy, doesn't he?
He does seem to be the go-to guy for them, the one who's willing to run. And
you see, this is
Typical Jamaica play, running it back and forth. It's a bit like watching Fiji play with a zigging and zagging.
And they gave it to him, and he had no choice but to start from a standing start. You're not going to go anywhere like that.
The ball turned over, back in the USA's possession, and they'll be happy with that, the USA, holding them out for 3 sets. Jamaica very disappointed not to come away with points.
Again, you got to credit the American D. They're doing very, very well thus far.
Third tackle on the 20-yard line. Casey Clark running up. Fourth tackle.
Oh, that's got to be a penalty.
Oh, that's unnecessary. And
here we
go. A bit of push and shove. And
tempers are fraying out there. You know what? There's no love lost between these two teams, and there hasn't been right back from 2009 when they first met.
And Taylor Alley getting a dust up in the corner. Looks like he can hold his own. Rich Henson jumping in to give him some support. The referee will want to talk to both teams, but USA unfortunately losing that ball and putting Jamaica back in attacking position.
I don't know so much, Steve. I think Jamaica was at fault there. Look, if you look at the linesman there, he's pointing his flag at the Jamaicans. I think that there was something going on in the tackle there, because you could see Freed was trying to get up to play the ball, and they were holding him down. And I think that's what Steve Howard was objecting to.
Referee Stephen Ganson, who in the Super League competition in the UK, been speaking to both captains.
Yeah, I think the Jamaicans are getting a little bit frustrated. You know, I mean, they've had three golden opportunities inside the US quarter, and instead of taking their kick at goal and at least getting some points on the board, they've opted to run the ball, trying to get the 4 points instead, and they've come up empty each time.
And that's been costly for Jamaica. What could have been an opportunity to be back in attack, they now are facing the USA team, who on the 40-yard line will take the penalty, and fresh set of tackles for the US team. And first tackle for the US, second tackle.
Looks like Cohen's recovered from that big hit he took earlier. Was that Cohen?
That's Nick Newland that's come on.
Newland, okay. He's that Philadelphia guy, isn't he?
Nick Newland plays for the Atlanta Rhinos.
Had
a magical run in the 2015 USA Championship, playing in that final. Nick Newland, one of the standout players for the team, ex-Marine.
There's Cohen now.
Offerdale looking to keep pushing things up the middle. Keep simply playing the ball.
He's got a ton of experience, Offerdale.
It's a cutout pass there, triple cutout pass. Tempano looking to settle things down, and it's a bit of a high tackle, but with Squirrel, that can be expected. Turnover. Jamaica getting the ball back. And the 20-yard line. Well, USA driving them back. Second tackle on Jamaica's 15.
There's just no way through that. No way through that line of defence, is there, for Jamaica?
It closes up in the middle, and really, what we say that almost got through, but
there's a half gap there, and he almost shimmied the way through.
but the USA doing a great job in defence and really forcing Jamaica to try to push that ball out wide, which when they do, they get a little too excited.
Oh, you see, it's happened again now. Look, I disagree. I don't want to be too harsh on the referees here, but gee whiz, come on now.
Yeah, these boys need to be allowed to play football. And
he was trying to get off the tackle player, seriously.
Jamaica definitely having the advantages in the penalty count.
Yeah. Hey, we need to thank the Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel and the Holiday Inn Express in Jacksonville Beach for hosting the national teams of the USA, Jamaica, and Canada.
Jamaica starting the set here on the 30-yard line in great attacking position. Deep pass, not much going on, and
I think
costly
that's a
knock on. Referee,
he got it.
He called it. He found it.
You see, it's almost a case of the Jamaicans panicking at this point and trying to do these silly passes, which that was not on that one.
The USA team fired up. They're really letting them know that they mean business. Jamaica starting to have hands on hips, and you can see some of these players who really haven't had a lot of playing time recently starting to struggle with the speed of this game.
Yeah, well, you know what? We said earlier that the Americans want to make a statement. They want to impress in front of the home crowd. So far, so good.
And there's Taylor Howden continually working and pushing his way up. It's quite elusive. It's free to dummy half, causing havoc again. Great dummy half run. Second tackle. Casey Clark. Oh, great hit there on Casey. John Purnell, one of the local boys, the Jacksonville Axemen player, John Purnell. First year representative football. Casey back in the action. Casey Clark, really an 80-minute player if necessary.
I believe his older brother used to play for the new U.S. national team not that long ago, right?
And the Jacksonville Axemen too, Matty Clark.
Yeah.
Also won a championship with the Philadelphia Fight.
There you go. Some pedigree in that family, huh? They've got the Jamaicans pinned back again. That's the game plan. Pin them back.
It's working.
Yep, so far it is.
Pass slightly suspect.
Well, like I said before, there's been a few of those, Steve, and the referee's been pretty lenient, I think.
The timing of the Jamaica team, that crispness, that sharpness just isn't there. Their passes are either too flat or too deep, and then, of course, the players caught on the back foot.
Well, you know, their coach Romeo Monteith will be the first to admit that is a problem. They just don't have enough international games, and it shows.
Great defense there by Timpano.
And what's up with that?
He's calling a head-high tackle. I'm not even sure that's possible for Squirrel to do a head-high tackle unless he jumps through the air. But
well, it was around the shoulders, I'll give you that, but I don't think there was anything nasty in it.
That's 5'4" on 6'4", but the referee stands firm and says it's a head-high tackle. Almost like a slam dunk for Squirrel to pull that one off.
Yeah.
The referee just trigger happy on this whistle, but
yeah, look, I think the penalties so far are certainly favouring the Jamaicans, aren't they? Well, that's about their 5th or 6th.
Again, that breeze, stiff breeze, pushing the ball down wide. Jamaica in excellent position to start this game on the US's 35-yard line. Plenty of US players in the tackle and driving back. No advantage.
Another penalty.
Referee saying play in the advantage.
Yeah, I think the Americans won't want to lose focus. I mean, it's only 9 minutes out from half-time, but don't lose focus.
Yeah, they've gone off the boil a bit, the US. They were, oh, and he's broken through.
Here's a score coming up, you would think.
Yeah, number 10.
Yeah, and that's Peltier, that man.
And he really has been the one who's kept the Jamaica team back in this game. And right under the post there, Jamaica out of nothing, but a costly turnover, some back-to-back penalties for the Jamaica team, and how quickly the game has changed.
Yeah.
We do have a game back on. We really thought at one point this was going to get away from the Jamaica team, but now we've got a football game on.
Well, look, that was about one of the few times that the American defense has missed a tackle. And he managed to break that Peltier, got rid of the first one, swerved around the would-be tackler who was coming to clean him up, and, 4 points. And fair play to them.
And so for the US, Casey Clark coming off, and on comes Sam Carson making his international debut for the USA team. Sam Carson recently signed, or was playing for the North Devils in the Queensland Cup competition.
Yeah, we think he was in the Meninga Cup team, wasn't he?
He might have been. Sam's only 20 years old, has an American mum, and has come out here with his dad for this tournament, and welcome to the Carson family back in Australia, and very excited to see Sam play for the US team. Odd kicking style that Jamaica's got there.
It worked for him.
It was sort of
I think that's...
It's like a dog chasing its tail, kicking that team, kicking that ball, but it worked, and Jamaica's takes the extra 2 points. We've got a game going on here now. USA leading by a score of 10 points to 6. 7.5 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, okay, a slight lapse in concentration, which is just what we were talking about prior to that set. The US just can't afford to do that. You got to keep focused for the whole time.
And look at that breeze there, just so stiff, holding the ball up, and the USA unlucky not to get the ball back. He knocked that ball on. Barnstorming run there by Jamaica. Second tackle, 40-yard line. Referee calling time. Player looks injured. I didn't get a good look at what happened.
You know, it looked like just an ordinary run-of-the-mill kind of tackle to me. I don't know, maybe he fell awkwardly, maybe he got winded. Sometimes that will happen.
And so the 6.5 minutes left in the game, the USA leading, but this game was moving in one direction and seems to swung back in favour. Jamaica having the weight of possession in the last 10 minutes. The USA were looking fit, but just starting to miss a few tackles. They get a bit sloppy going in the half. It looks like fitness is really going to be the difference in the second half of the game. Great solid tackle by the US team, popping that ball out. The USA calling a strip there, but that ball was lost. And again, Jamaica comes off better, unfortunately for the US team. Extra field advantage, and he's kicked that ball dead. Ruling in that play, kicking the ball dead from a penalty. I'm sure he had to go to his rule book from that one, and the referee is saying a drop kick.
I think it's, yeah, the US has to do that.
A drop kick from the 20-yard line, and I can't remember the last time I saw that play.
Well, look, city and venue partners from the University of North Florida, the city of Jacksonville and the city of DeLand have made these games possible in Florida. We want to thank them for their support in growing rugby league in the United States. Oh, how about that?
Spectacular stuff, and again...
Boy, I tell you what, almost every hit these days, there's a flare-up, isn't there? That was that, I think that was the 5'8" Farrell there.
But Sam Carson, they're being marched for the field for 10 minutes. Not the start he was looking for. Jamaica, how quickly this game has swung to their advantage. He'll be disappointed with that, Sam. Not exactly sure what happened. He looked like he was going for the ball, but the referee citing that he'd attacked the player up high, deliberately tried to hurt him. Not having any of that, and Jamaica, for the next 10 minutes, will have the man advantage.
Yeah, well, they'll see out the rest of this half and the first 5 minutes or so of the second half. With that advantage you talk about.
And of course, losing Sam in the forwards, that will keep the US team lean in the ranks of the forwards. But here we go, Jamaica on the 40-yard line. What can they do with this? First tackle. Much easier meters this time around with Jamaica.
Well, it's like they're getting their confidence up, isn't it?
That ball suspect, but still moving on. Third tackle. Jamaica, they can smell blood here.
Yeah, they got numbers out to the
Great
left.
defense by the US team to keep him down. Fourth tackle, 10 yards out, playing blind. US solid in defense.
Yeah, nice one there by Cohen coming over the top and smothering the ball player.
Jamaica there,
And they
panic
coughed it up.
football, and they didn't need to do that, Jamaica. There wasn't too much going on the left-hand side, but they decided that they wanted to push it out there, and the USA lucky, they'll be happy with that result and taking a breather.
Yeah, players and volunteers from the Jacksonville Axemen and the Central Florida Warriors played a big part in event operations. You can find all rugby league teams in the USA by visiting usarl.com.
So that turnover giving USA the ball back on the 10-yard line. It's been a while since the US had possession. They'll be looking to slow things down now going into the half. It's John Purnell carrying the ball, not much happening. Free to dummy half. Howden getting involved, losing ground. Third tackle, still 15-yard line, freed. Nick Newell in there, looking to move the ball up.
You know, he had good hands. He caught that well, didn't he? Because that was a pretty sharp one, and a little high.
Andrew Neasley plays for the Philadelphia Fight, or Chunk.
Yeah.
on the 30-yard line, some fresh legs.
Neasley's been in the national team for a few years now. He's been around. He knows what he's doing.
Danny Howard for the US team. Fifth and last tackle. US will want to get a good kick in here. And that's much better from the team.
Yeah, but again, it's held up by the wind, isn't it? Nice tackle there by
Great.
Tupano.
Mike Tupano having a solid game so far. Jamaica back on the attack, 35-yard line.
Yeah, that was the fullback Wayne Rady. He's been around for a while too. He was playing for the Jamaicans, way back in 2010 during the Atlantic Cup Series.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. Score 10 points to 6 in favor of the US team. Unnecessary passing there, losing ground.
I was going to say a la Fiji, isn't it?
It really is. They make it fun to watch, and when Jamaica comes out and plays in the nines each year in the USA, they're really one of the favorite teams. Little chip kick, looks like it's lost.
Yeah, that was very messy, although they managed to retain possession there, but just.
Looked more like basketball than actual football. And
he thought he was off to the races, didn't he, Thomas?
He was unlucky, and I'm not really sure what it looked like. It was an offside in kicking.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it came off a US player. I thought it came off his legs. I don't think it hit anybody else after that. Maybe it did.
And what a difference that would have made if Jamaica had
yeah.
got away from that one. We would have USA would have been disappointed going in the half, but instead they are on the attack with 1.5 minutes left, and again, not enough possession for the US in the last 20 minutes. So it's really been a game of two halves this first half of football. Nick Newland running the ball on the 30-yard line. Second tackle. Freed looking to move the ball quickly. Abe Cohen getting smashed in the tackle.
Geez, he's a target for them, isn't he?
He really is. He's a warrior, Abe Cohen. Danny Howard almost breaking through. 20-yard line, keeping the ball moving. The USA on the attack.
Little Matt Walsh nearly ducked under that and got away with it.
He really did. Corey Maitland there for the fullback for the US team. US in great field position. Fifth tackle, fifth and last. Little chip kick. Lost. Looks like he's going to score. The referee says that he knocked the ball on.
Yeah, it was Christian Freed. You could see the thought process there, but just the execution let him down at the end.
He doesn't agree with it, though. He's saying to the referee.
Well, you can argue all you like, can't you? But the referee's decision is final.
Not much time left on the clock, only 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's no video referee in this stuff.
USA will look to wind this down. Both teams. And that is half time. One more play. Oh, something going on here, and the Jamaica's broken away. Exciting stuff here, hot dog football, but
not finished yet.
We're not finished yet.
Touch got his
calling
flag up.
Time. So many passes being thrown around. It's very difficult to see.
The touch is saying maybe one of those passes earlier on in that series of passes was a little forward, hey? Let's see.
Referee wants to talk, doesn't want the players to come near, and he's given the ball to the USA team on the 40-yard line. No time left on the clock. The US will get one attacking opportunity.
I think they're just going to kick it out, aren't they?
They're not
Go to the locker room.
They're not going to kick for goal on this wind.
No, not against that wind.
You just watch Matt Walsh kick this ball here. He knows there's even a chip's going to get better yards than trying to punt it up in the air. All right, 50-yard line. One play left in the half. What can they do with it? Andrew Neasley taking that tackle, and that will be half-time. USA leading by a score of 10 points to 6. Great first half of football. 2 periods of football, and now the USA on top. Really, in that first 15, 20 minutes. You thought they were going to run away with the game there, but Jamaica, some back-to-back penalties, and how quickly this game can change.
I think the scoreline flatters Jamaica, quite frankly, because I thought the US, for the most part, for probably 35 minutes of that 40-minute half, they were in control. They had possession, they had territorial advantage, and, you know, their defense was stout, apart from that one time when I think it was Ross Peltier broke through for that try of theirs. They've been pretty good otherwise. I mean, you're not breaking through that wall too easily.
You are, but the US stayed having to do a tremendous amount of defense in that last 15 minutes, which is going to sap their energy tremendously for this second half, but they will have the breeze behind them going into the second half.
Yeah, they will. And that's right. For the first 5 minutes or so of the next stanza, you're going to be the same. You're going to be a man down, and chances are they're going to be on the defense a lot.
And so with both teams going into the halves, they're going into the locker room at the half. Plenty to talk about from both coaches. Let's start with the Jamaica team first and foremost. What do you think the coach will have to say at halftime?
I think the coach is going to have to say, keep it cool. You guys are a little bit hard-headed out there at times, and when you keep your cool and you stick to the game of rugby league and you stick to the fundamentals and trying to execute the game plan, you do better. And that's when they scored. I think otherwise they look. If the US comes out, because I think what McDermott's going to say is, look, you lost your focus, you lost a bit of concentration in the last 10 minutes or so, and that's when Carson was sent off, and then the US was on the defense for the last period, as you mentioned. I think that's something that McDermott will address. I think he'll say, look, you're going to start a man down when we run out there again. You've got to stay focused. You've got to stick to the game plan, because when you do that, you've got the advantage. Because we saw that earlier on, as you mentioned, they looked like they might be able to run away that early because they were breaking the line. They were making more yards every time they had the ball. They're tackling. I keep harping on the tackling, but to me, they say defense wins championships, right? I think we're seeing that. Well, an example of, not that this is a championship game or anything, but it's an important game. And if your defense is not up to snuff, well, you're going to lose, aren't you?
And Jamaica, they were really able to turn this game around in that last 15 minutes. Again, some back-to-back penalties for them and some great field position, and really a try that came out of nothing for them. But they're on the board, and they really had the momentum behind them in that back half of this 40 minutes of going in.
And the other thing too, Steve, I don't think they used the wind enough because it was at their backs for that first 40 minutes, and we didn't see a lot of general kicking in play, did we?
Well, we're definitely going to see that from the US team, I think, in the second half. They'll look to take advantage of this breeze and pin Jamaica back behind their own line. Which player stood out for you for the Jamaica team?
Oh, for Jamaica, I think Peltier, the try scorer. And I think also the fullback Wayne Reddy. I think those two guys had pretty good performance so far, as did the 5'8" Farrell. He was okay, and the scrum half Thomas. I'm not sold on that guy. I think he tends to hesitate a lot before he does anything.
Yeah, he does hold that ball off, and he's always looking for the quick play or the big play before, instead of just moving that ball. The US team. What's impressed you about them so far?
Well, like I've been saying, I think the fact that they're executing the game plan, they're attacking well, they're making yards. I think Offerdal, Mark Offerdal, ex-East Tigers in Brisbane there, by the way, who's just recently signed on the London Broncos, as you probably know. I think he's been leading by example. This is his first time as national team skipper, and I think he's done well. In fact, he's scored the first try of this series, and it came from sheer determination. As we said at the time, he probably shared 3, maybe 4 tacklers on the way to the trial, and he dragged 1 or 2 with him as he was scoring. So I think he's been doing well. I think also Steve Howard, he's been a mountain. He's had so many hit-ups, I lost count, and he's had as many tackles as anybody else on the US team. Also, John Purnell, one of your guys that you know very well. I think he's been playing well. I think who's probably really impressed me the most is Christian Freed. I mean,
dummy half, he's been so dangerous.
Like I said before, I've only ever seen him play in the backs. He was playing on the wing for the Sunshine Coast of the Intra Super Cup in Queensland. He's been playing in the backs for Mitchelton Panthers in Brisbane, and now all of a sudden he's a hooker, and he's a darn fine hooker from what I can see.
He's a damn fine one, and he's been really controlling the speed of that game from dummy half. And I would say the US's momentum in those forward line. very much goes credit to how quickly he's been controlling that dummy half role. In terms of the backs for the US team, there's really not much action happening for the backs, but Taylor Howden getting plenty involved on the wing there moving, and also Mike Tempano has been quite solid in defense for the US team.
Yeah, he's a nuggety little guy, isn't he?
He really is.
Also, I like Corey Makelum. I think he's been making a pretty good fist of the fullback role. This is his first game, his debut. In fact, he only arrived not that long ago. In fact, he only just named him as a replacement earlier this week, as I believe.
That's correct, a replacement for Tua Samoa, who unfortunately had to drop out for personal reasons, but he's come in as a heritage player and done a fine job in that fullback position.
Well, he's probably feeling reasonably at home because his teammates there, Danny and Steve Howard, also from the Wentworthville Magpies in New South Wales.
And Sam Carson debut coming onto the field and not having much football and finds himself sitting on the sideline going into the second half. He'll have 3 or 4 minutes where the USA will be down a man for something that the referee deemed to be a foul play.
Yeah. Look, I guess we can't really criticize officials too much these days. But I said at the time, I thought a couple of his decisions were soft penalties in favour of Jamaica. And by the way, they must be ahead of the count in terms of the penalty count by at least a 2-1 margin, if not more.
Well, 3 minutes left before the teams come back out. I'm sure that both teams will want to look to settle the play down and really just keep the simple play back in the hands and move the ball up the middle. The Jamaica team, they have the work cut out for them. They're going to have that breeze running into the breeze in the second half. The USA will be in great field position on top in the scoreline, but also with the fact that they've got that stiff breeze behind them kicking the ball.
Yeah, I think the US halves, Henson and Walsh, will want to use that breeze. They'll want a bit more kicking in general play, just to like we said at the when we set up the game before things started. They want to. The game plan is to, certainly was anyway before it started, to pin Jamaica in their own quarter, and for the most part, I think they did that. They did pretty well, and I think they want to return to that, especially utilising that pretty stiff breeze.
One player that hasn't come onto the field yet that we're all waiting to see is the flyer Ryan Burrows, who will also be playing his third test for the USA team. Ryan Burrows having a stellar breakthrough year, and what could happen, what position he's accustomed to that fullback role. We'll hope to see him come out in the second half and take advantage of some of the broken play.
Well, this is, I think it's his first or second year of rugby league. He was a union player before that. And look, I think he's a natural for this game, isn't he? From what I'm told, we haven't seen him yet, but from what you've been telling me, and you're familiar with him.
Yes, he was the leading try scorer in the USARL competition this year, and also scored in both test matches for the USA against the Canada and the Colonial Cup Series.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I still think that you've got to rate the Canadians as slight favourites simply based on that. Although, the caveat being, well, okay, but this is a different US team. It's not the same team that played in the Colonial Cup Series. We've got all these different guys who are the heritage players who've been added to the mix. You've got McDermott now as head coach and in putting his giving his take on things. And I think it's going to be, look, what I think is going to happen here, if I can gaze into my crystal ball, I think the US, by all rights, should win this one tonight. I think the Canadians should win on Wednesday against Jamaica, everything being equal. And then I think you have a winner-takes-all Game 3 back here next Saturday. I think that's going to be a humdinger. And
wouldn't that be great if it actually came down to that final game series where ultimately the US would be playing Canada for that top spot, and really the two powerhouses, at least we believe, would be deciding who goes on to the 2017 Rugby League World Cup.
Well, that would be a TV producer's dream game, wouldn't it? You'd talk about TV ratings going off the charts. You've got the two arch rivals in North America playing in the USA. You've got the USA, the reigning regional champions, I suppose you'd have to say. And the Canadians are the genuine challengers who want to qualify for their first ever World Cup, and they've only been back since 2010. So they've been doing extremely well in the 5 years they've been back in International Rugby League.
Talking about the tournament format here now, the next game that will be played Tuesday night in DeLand, Florida. Jamaica will be playing Canada. Canada arriving today, tomorrow, the team. They'll only have a few days preparation. Jamaica having to play 2 games, another game of rugby league in 4 days. Who has the advantage going into the next game?
Oh, I think the Canadians. Game, set, match right there. That's one of the reasons, I think. You know, it's always the way. You see this in the World Cup, don't you? Where the big guns, Australia, New Zealand, England, they always get a week between games. The minnows, if you will, the USAs and Cook Islands and so forth, they have to play in, you know, every 4 days or so. And it does take its toll because you've only got a small squad, really 20 players that you can pick from. And you know, I think Jamaica, you know, if they come out of this without too many bumps and bruises, they'll be doing well.
And so for the final game, the third game between USA and Jamaica, then you'd have to think that USA would have the advantage of having a week's break, plenty of time to practice, work on their game preparation, be far more prepared than they were for this game. And then Canada will be on the back heel of having a game 4 days behind them. Yeah,
and I wrote that from the get-go. I think that's certainly the situation here. The home team gets the advantage, and so they should, because as I said, they're the reigning regional champions.
Well, kickoff getting ready to happen here, the second half. Jamaica kicking into the breeze. USA taking the ball back. The US getting the ball on 30-yard line. Free to dummy half. That's Danny Howard running the ball. Quick play the ball. Nick Newland. Sorry, Steve Howard, his brother.
I was going to say there's another hit up by Steve. It didn't take him long, did it?
Andrew Neasley nearly losing the ball on that tackle, hanging on to it. Simple stuff by the US team. Freed kicking the ball early, catching them napping.
There we go.
Pinning them down, and that's that play that McDermott was looking for. Pin Jamaica back in their own quarter. Quick start to the game.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart play. I think on the 4th or 5th tackle, you've got to kick, and you've got to keep it in play like that too, like he did.
Third tackle for Jamaica, not making much yards, still 15 yards, 20 yards out. Being held down, no marker. Jamaica on the attack. Solid run, solid head up. USA, 4 players in the tackle. Flat pass again, almost forward. Jamaica not getting much field position on the 35-yard, 5th and last tackle.
Oh, dear me.
And that's a great kick there for considering the breeze, but...
That's big Lamont Bryan putting boot to ball there.
Oh, he's broken straight through there. He's going to keep going. USA on the outside, Corey Maitland. Great field position, and boy, a head high tackle. Referee, let it go. Yeah, USA on the attack. Danny Howard, you can smell blood. He's looking to go through. 10 yards out, third tackle, free to dummy half.
Corey Maitland.
Matty Walsh looking to push the ball out wide. Not much happening. US lucky there not to get the ball lost.
Yeah, they squandered a nice opportunity there.
Steve Howard looking to settle things down. 4th tackle, there's Nick Newland. Only a yard out, 5th and last tackle. What's the USA going to do? Oh, it's a beautiful one-up pass straight there onto Danny Howard. And there's that connection. Those players know each other in the USA, making it look very simple and in to score. Great start. The USA on the board early in the second half by a score of 14 points to 6. And what a great set of 6 by the USA team. Nice little early kick there in the tackle camp, pinning Jamaica back on their own line. And then a great set of 6, putting them in position. And Christian Feed, beautiful ball from dummy half there, right into Danny Howard over the line.
Yeah, look, and I thought back here too when that errant pass came out towards the touchline and was kept in play. We thought then that they'd muffed a certain golden opportunity, but hey, they came back and finished it off. And Danny Howard, there was no stopping that guy, man. He was like a Mack truck going towards the line.
He looked like he'd wound up at the halfway line to run across. So the US getting ready to kick for goal. with a 2-score difference between these two teams and a perfect start to the USA team in this second half. A man down, Sam Carson. Is he back on the field yet? There he is, he's back on the field. USA back to full strength. Well, I have a special guest with me, and that is the chairman of the USA Rugby League, Mr. Peter Ilfield, who is joining us in the commentary booth. Peter has just come from the dressing room there where he's been with the US team. What can you tell us about the conversation at halftime? And
Well,
first of all, welcome, Peter, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Steve, and it's great to be here, and it's fantastic that we're streamed live across the world globally on this game, and welcome to all those who are watching in and listening. Steve, Coach McDermott didn't have a great deal to say at halftime, and no doubt that he was happy with the performance. He thought it was a sensational effort on their goal line D, but unfortunately gave away too many penalties from the play the ball situation when players were just a little slow to get off, and so he thought that was a bit of a result from a lack of purpose in the defence.
And then the kickoff there with the Jamaica team kicking the ball, the US back in the attack. That's Ryan Burrows there getting his first touch of the ball. Danny Howard. Sorry. Yep, Steve Howard actually running the ball. There's Danny Howard back to back. The USA on the attack. Third tackle. Great field position there. What a bulldozing run. The referee allowed him to play advantage in the straight through the middle. That's Sam Carson there making great yards. The USA on the attack, pushing Jamaica behind the line. There's Henson. Referee is going to call Shepherd play. For the US terms, that's blocking, using their own player to block in the tackle. And what was a great attacking opportunity for the USA team now given back to Jamaica, and Jamaica will be breathing a sigh of relief. They looked like they were really struggling. And that's a poor kickoff. But still Jamaica, the ball going over the line. Instead of doing a set of 6 to kick off that tackle count, there'll be a scrum feed with Jamaica with the loose head and feed.
Steve, that last set from the USA, that you saw the ground that they used, well, that was what McDermott spoke about at half-time. He wanted more penetration from the forwards down the middle of the field, and that's shown there from the Jamaican guys around that middle defence and dummy half defence, marker defence, just not good enough to maintain them. But some errors here, and it's going to be a Jamaica feed in the scrum.
Any standout performers for yourself, Peter, watching the game?
Well, I'm very impressed with Danny Howard, and I've been impressed with his brother Steve as well at the front row.
There's Jamaica losing the ball backwards in the tackle. Referee saying play on. Second tackle. Moving the ball up the field. Great defense from the US team, penning Jamaica back down. Jamaica there pushing the ball out wide. Not much happening. The US swarming around them like flies, keeping them pinned on the 20-yard line.
The encouraging thing from the US side here in defence is that the men in the tackle,
Oh,
3 and
that's
4 at a time.
Breakthrough dummy half. The USA has been very quick to defend and really not almost pushed Jamaica to force that ball out wide.
Well, it's a Jamaican trait here.
Well, that's a forward ball, and he's lucky that the referee didn't call that, but they're on the attack and making good ground. There's definitely speed once they get the ball, but it's a turnover in possession. That's the last tackle. Jamaica not taking advantage of that. It's Taylor Howden again. What do you think of his performance, Peter, in the game so far?
Well, it's been tremendous, and he's been really strong up the middle. And you'll see where he's come in from the wing. He's added extra penetration to the forwards, and shifts himself back out wide again.
And with Burrows coming onto the field right now, what position's he playing in?
Fullback.
There's Mark Offerdale. Had a great first half. Fantastic solo effort there with that try that he scored.
Loose ball.
And then Jamaica, a broken play there, and they might score here. That's Jamaica once they've got the ball. And something out of nothing, Jamaica turning this game around. That ball popping out, really a pass that had absolutely nothing on. Jamaica, again, how quickly this changes, taking advantage of the play, clawing their way back into the game. 10 minutes into the second half, the USA leading by a score of 16 points to 10.
Just a lapse of concentration there from the USA attack, and we just didn't have enough numbers around that loose ball when it went to ground. Jamaica took advantage of it, and once they get away, then they're going to be down the far end of the field nice and quick.
Peter, anything else that you want to tell us about the halftime conversation with McDermott?
Yeah, look, Brian's very softly spoken, and he leaves a lot of responsibility to his players, and so there's not a lot more to say other than that, you know, he thought our kicks needed to be smarter with this wind, and that, as he said, the goal line defence was sensational. Get some return back on those penalties that we had in the first half, and play a cleaner game. But unfortunately, they've just got off to a bad start here and on the back foot.
And that score, that try scored by the number 6'5'8", Joel Farrell there for Jamaica, and really, boy, when he was in open space there, he could move pretty quick.
Well, as you know, these Jamaicans are going to make it around the outside real quick whenever they got the opportunity, and so we're going to have to close those opportunities off to them. Any loose ball that's on the ground, they're going to sweep on it, and we need to get to it.
And that kick unsuccessful, score remaining 16 points to 10. Peter Eelfield, thanks very much for joining us. Jamaica getting the ball back.
Yeah, very fortuitous bounce of the ball, as they say. When Offerdale spilled it, well, he didn't spill it, but his pass was a little bit errant and couldn't be cleaned up, as Peter was saying. And, well, they paid the price, didn't they?
And here we go again, USA having to defend what was an attack, and that's a costly start by Jamaica on the kickoff, and how quickly this game can punish you for the simple things. That breeze, very difficult to read, and what was an opportunity for Jamaica to get back into this game now, the USA in perfect position to turn the mistake around back into an attacking opportunity.
Yeah, and is Offerdale opting for the kick a goal, or is he going to tap and run? Yep, tap
Going
and
for
run.
that run. And that's Newland there on the first tackle, running the ball.
There's Offerdale again, pushing it through.
Second tackle, right outside the try line. Freed there, dummy half. Corey Maitland.
Yeah, he's
3 yards out.
He's had a good game so far, Maitland, hasn't he?
Third tackle. That pass, a little too high there, pushing Matt Walsh on the back foot, but they continue to push it out wide. There's Rich Henson. Wasn't sure he held that ball up, decided to run. Fifth and last tackle. USA on the attack. They'll want to look to get the ball back. That ball into Jamaica, and looks like USA has knocked that ball on, and it'll be a turnover with Jamaica to get the ball back. The USA will be happy with that set.
Yeah, they did well, didn't they? Just weren't quite able to punch it through in the end, but oh so close.
So Jamaica now, again, that they'll be relieved that nothing came of that spilled ball, but again, looking to see them push that ball out wide.
You know, when Jamaica's got the ball, they just don't seem to have any direction. Well, mainly because they don't have many opportunities. That line of defense is just stout.
USA again, quicker defense. Third tackle on the 20-yard line, looking to push it out wide.
And Timpano hangs on and makes the tackle.
And again, that ball just been thrown around willy-nilly almost, but the USA doing a great job holding them back, and Jamaica has really gone nowhere in this set of 6.
Yeah, that was their Peltier guy again, and how about that hit?
The USA, great position. There's Burrows running the ball. Hasn't had many opportunities to get the ball, but the USA in great field position, 30-yard line. Danny to Steve Howard.
Yeah, I thought Steve was going to offload them, but just couldn't quite get his arms free.
Sam Carson looking to make up for that lost 10 minutes. Danny holding that ball off. He thought about passing it, but instead held onto the ball. Fourth tackle. Great field position for the USA team again. Quick pass. Oh, he's over the line. Beautiful. Held up the dummy. The referee gives it. Fantastic pass there. The USA in again with Corey Maitland. He's had a terrific game so far, leading 20 points to 10, 15 minutes into the second half.
And you know, Firehouse Subs, the main title sponsor here, they have over 900 restaurants across the USA, Canada, the Caribbean and Mexico. As the official title sponsor for the Rugby League World Cup qualifiers, we want to thank them for bringing this event to the United States. And you can visit them at firehousesubs.com. Great play there, great enterprising, fundamental play. Nothing flash about that set of 6 there from the USA. They just stuck to the task, didn't they? Danny Howard, I thought, had the intention of a nice
you
inside
thought he was going to get rid of that ball there,
yeah.
but he held up, and he again, I think that the words of the coach got into his ear at halftime, and they just wanted to keep it simple, but beautifully held up wide there, and again, you thought that the fullback for the US team was going to pass it, but instead he just a little shimmy and over in the corner there.
And you know what helped? Again, it was the quick pass, quick thinking by Christian Freed. That guy is really impressing tonight, I think.
He really has been dangerous and quite honestly has been the difference between these two teams, his controlling play around dummy half.
Yeah, look, he's putting in an MVP performance, or for our overseas viewers, that would be man of the match.
Yes. So, difficult kick from way out, stiff breeze behind him, and it looks that he's just pushed it to the right, so...
I didn't know he could kick goals either, Christian Freed, by the way, but he seems to be a man of many talents.
So the USA leading by a score of 20 points to 10, 25 minutes left in the second half there.
Well, we said, didn't we, during the halftime break, that if the US was the first to score in this half, and they were, then it was going to be a real tall order for the Jamaicans. They're now 10 points in arrears, and we've still got, We've still got 24 and a half to go, so there's plenty of time on the clock. It's just, oh, geez, you know,
the USA are lucky there. You almost felt that he got a fingertip to the ball, but the referee didn't see it, and the USA is on the attack.
I really don't like it when players let the ball bounce off kicks like that, because bad things can happen.
And there's Offerdale, barnstorming run, making good field position. And there's Freed again, scooting from dummy half. Great field position, moving up to the halfway line, second tackle.
He's like an NFL runner there behind his blocker, wasn't he?
He really was. He was holding them and herding behind them. 40-yard line, third tackle. Steve Howard. Danny Howard.
No, you see, I don't like that idea. You got to take the tackle because he spilled the ball. And now the referee's saying, what?
Referee's saying play on. He was lucky there.
He definitely knocked that on, seriously.
Little kick, and just shows you how much happened is with this breeze. That ball is moving at the speed of light once it gets into the open there with the breeze behind it.
Yeah, you see, that's one thing the Jamaicans weren't doing when they had the wind behind them, and I think the US is being smart about it.
Well, Jamaica will get the ball back on their 20-yard line. Really enjoying the break, and they'll want to definitely score in this next set of possession.
Well, if they're the next to score, then it makes things interesting, doesn't it?
But the USA not allowing much to happen, and just so solid in defense.
No, again, that's Ross Peltier, the ball carrier there, and he was wrapped up nicely by the US. Oh, as was...
Sam Carson there, getting into the action.
That was Mo Agoro on the receiving end of that one.
The USA is all over Jamaica, and they're really sort of struggling to get out of their own half.
Yeah, that was the fullback Reddy again trying to show some fleet-footed effectiveness there, but he wasn't getting very far, really. He was going crabwise. Wasn't making much forward progress.
Jamaica still got the ball on the attack. Those passes that they were looking for, spinning it out wide, they just seem to be doing one-up stuff and running around, but a little chip kick in. Not the advantage he was looking for. If he'd got a bounce, he might have been through, but the US on the attack. The referee is saying...
He's saying a knock on by the US.
The ball has been knocked on by the US, and
man.
being held back in the tackle, but Offerdale not getting anything. Jamaica very lucky, but Geez, you felt that even with that little chip kick, had that bounce been a little bit better, Jamaica could have been under the post.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they need to start being a little more, you're going to chance their arm a little bit more now, because we're getting into the fourth quarter of the game, and they're still 10 points down.
30-yard line on the attack.
It's a good opportunity here for the Jamaicans if they can keep possession and get the go forward.
Second tackle for Jamaica, trying to hit it up again. Better yards this time for them. 15 yards out, third tackle. Moving the ball across the field.
Oh, Christian Freed's hurt in that tackle. He's a little wobbly.
Jamaica on the attack, fourth tackle. Pushing the ball out wide. The high cutout pass and just way too high. That thing's going to end up in the stands in the other field. And boy, oh boy, that was just unnecessary panic football. They looked like they were in control of that set, but
well,
it got away from them.
It speaks to what I was saying just a moment ago. They have to chance their arm a little bit. They have to do stuff that they may not necessarily want to do. But if they don't, then they're not going to win this game. I think Christian Freed is the look. He's looking at the sideline. I think he's got to come over. I think they really need to look at that and take a look at him.
He's signaling to the sideline.
Yeah.
Looks like he says he's okay.
Well, okay. Look, the official media partner for the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup qualifiers is Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Southeast Ortho have provided services to the Jacksonville Axemen and other local teams for over 10 years. Visit them at se-ortho.com.
So Timpano coming out of the scrum there, and that's a one-on-one strip at the referee.
Yeah, again, Jamaica getting a little frustrated.
He's saying that the play was dead, but he's not really sure what the referee's calling that. It was one-on-one, but regardless, with that stiff breeze behind them, the USA kicking for extra touch in great field position will put them on their own 40-yard line on the attack. And there's Burrows. Oh! High tackle there.
Now, come on. Again, in the NRL, that is a yellow card offence.
So how is he still on the field?
And he definitely would be put on report for that. I mean, these referees are, these officials, very, very lenient, I think.
Little inconsistency from where we're sitting, but the USA get the ball back on the 30-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it.
Well, the tackle player's no worse for wear, I guess.
Freed's out there, and there's Ryan Burrows, and he steps through. He's so elusive.
I think he slipped, and he slipped underneath the tackle is what happened.
Wouldn't be the last time we'll see that. John Purnell keeping things simple, moving the ball up. Just want to know when that point when Burrows is going to make his mark in this game. Danny Howard taking the tackle, standing in the tackle.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do, Steve. You got to take it. When you're here, you got to take the tackle. Don't do anything fancy.
USA pushing on Jamaica's try line. The referees saying that there's too much activity in the tackle. The USA will get a fresh set of 6.
Yeah, and a special thank you to the law offices of John Phillips for bringing us the Jacksonville Axe Maidens performance for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law. You can find them at floridajustice.com.
USA on the 10-yard line. Freed taking the ball. Can they take advantage of this? It would open the score up, definitely in their favour going into the Canada game. Steve Howard, great strong run there, flicked around in the tackle. Second tackle, Freed on the attack. Purnell again taking the ball. Not much happening, 5 yards out. Freed on the attack again. There's Howard looking for the line. He can see it too far away. Jamaica knows this is everything for them. There's Freed again moving the ball out wide. Walsh still keeping his head on the shoulders, moving the ball back in the middle.
Yeah, you see, here we go. The Jamaicans starting to lose focus a bit, and there's a lot of high tackles going on.
There's that ball going out wide. Burrows in open space. He can make anything happen, and there he goes. Almost through and flicked around. The referee saying strip the ball out. Jamaica again. But boy, oh boy, every time Burrows gets that ball, you feel like something's going to happen.
What a brilliant run that was.
It really is.
It came from nothing.
10-yard line, first tackle, second tackle. Jamaica on the attack. That's a better run for them. 20-yard line, moving the ball. This is something you would have expected them to do more in the first half of the game, but finding their feet now. Great solid run for Jamaica on the attack again, up to the halfway line. Kicking the ball, going for that little chip again. Worked the first time almost, but not the second time. Casey Clark.
Yeah, I think he picked up a knee in the back unintentionally there.
30-yard line back on the attack. Taylor Howard continually keeping the ball moving. He's been so dangerous this whole game.
He's been impressive. He's been impressive.
He's come inside looking for so much work. Offerdale on the attack. 40-yard line. USA getting the ball away. There he is again. Corey Maitland.
Well, it took 3 of them that time to bring him to the ground, didn't it?
They're holding him down in the tackle. USA on the left side. There's Danny Howard breaking through one, getting through a second. 30 yards out. Fourth tackle.
Time now becoming crucial from Jamaica's standpoint. We've got a little over 15 minutes to go, but they don't look like really breaking through here.
Fifth and last tackle. Walsh putting in the simple little kick. Jamaica getting the ball back easily. The USA all over them, holding them back down on the 10-yard line. Jamaica on the attack. Great defense from the US.
Yeah,
Offerdale and Howard in that tackle.
They're keeping focused.
Jamaica again looking to push that ball wide. Nice fend.
Yeah, that was Farrell. He's been one of their better players.
Third tackle down the left side. Again, no room to move. Jamaica not getting the field advantage. Doing the work very hard.
Oh, here we go again. You see,
the referee was saying he was hanging the tackle, but there just seems to be inconsistency watching.
I don't know, Steve. I mean, I'd like to see some replays of some of these penalties, because I think that the referee's been well, I think he's been erring actually, and I think Jamaica's been on the receiving end, the positive side of it.
15 minutes left in the second half. USA leading by a score of 20 points to 10. Jamaica are on the attack. They'll need to score.
Yeah.
If they're any chance of winning this game, they're going to score in the next set of 6.
Yeah, they want to make it. They want to do something with it now.
35 yards out on the attack, pushing the ball wide. This is better from them. Getting around the outside. USA not letting anything happen.
Yeah, that's Alex Brown, the winger there, causing some trouble.
Third tackle, 20 yards out, 30 yards out on the 20-yard line. Not the advantage he was looking for. Still up and running. The referee says play on.
Oh boy. He was held, wasn't he?
He was still moving. He's knocked that on there. He was such a chance to.
Well, perhaps they got the just desserts, because I thought he was certainly held in the tackle already.
And Joel Farrell, had he taken that ball cleanly, would have likely been able to scoot out wide with his speed and score. But the USA, lucky break.
Yeah.
Fifth tackle, turnover on the attack.
Fortune favours the brave, they say, don't they?
So there's Purnell. Big hit and being forced into the ground. He's been solid today.
Jamaica putting in some big hits in the closing stages here.
There's Mike Tempano. Offerdale on the attack. Great yards. 30-yard line. Fourth tackle. Danny Howard, he's been in everything today. Well, no, sorry, that's Corey Maitland.
I think he's been in everything today.
And there's that kick with that stiff breeze. You can really see it pushing them back. That ball just continually to roll, and that's a great kick.
That is a good kick, and that's what they have to do.
The USA
turn them around.
Pinning them down on the 10-yard line. Jamaica walking back onside, hands on hips. Their players are struggling.
Yeah. The fitness could become a factor right about now.
Simple one-up stuff for Jamaica, but the players are walking. They're not running, looking for the ball. Oh, that's a great run-up by who's that? The number 13, loose forward, Lamont Bryan. And Jamaica through again. Great break there, 5th and last tackle on the 35-yard line. What are they going to do with it? Little chip kick, but into touch. And the USA will breathe a sigh of relief. Jamaica was able to move the ball up quickly in that half. But
they had a good set that time, Steve, and at the end there, I don't think he had a choice other than do what he did, which was kick for touch, because the line was, was solid across the field, wasn't it? They weren't going to break through there, and I think Farrell knew that. And I think he decided, well, you know what, we'll pin them back in their 22. Hopefully we'll cause them to fumble, and we'll get the ball back and do something with it.
And the Jamaica needed that extra few seconds to take a breath, because they were really struggling with that kick and chase from the USA team in that last set of 6. But again, Jamaica was able to move the ball back again quickly.
And we need to thank the Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel and the Holiday Inn Express in Jacksonville Beach for hosting the national teams of the USA, Jamaica, and Canada.
USA with Ryan Burrows on the 15-yard line. First tackle. Freed there, moving it out. Danny Howard. Great run for him. He's normally a second rower playing out wide.
He's making a good fist of that, Steve.
He's looking for that penalty.
He was trying to milk it, wasn't he?
It looked like he was putting up for sale on eBay there, the way he was waving his arm around Offerdale. Did
you think of that one by yourself?
Yeah, I might have to rewrite that. Freed kicking early in the tackle count, and again, that's pushed them down. Jamaica being pinned back down, then nothing coming out of this.
Retty turned around, one of the veterans of the team.
Oh, he's pushed the ball out wide. Something going on here, and Jamaica on the attack, outside, back on the inside.
Man, but he was wrapped up there.
Second tackle.
That's what you expect from Jamaica. They can attack from anywhere if they put their mind to it, can't they?
They're not afraid to throw the ball. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing orthodox about that play.
On the attack, just on the halfway line. USA solid, pushing them back.
And you know what I like about the USA's defense, Steve, is they're wrapping up the ball carrier, not letting him offload.
They're really not giving them much time, and they're holding them down and allowing them to get back on side.
Yep.
Fourth tackle. On the 30-yard line, 5th and last tackle. Let's see what Jamaica can do with this. And that's not what they were looking for. A panic pass. It's missed and lost great field position for them, but US will get the ball back.
Yeah, Maitland, let's see what
Corey
he can do
Maitland winding those legs up. Burrows at dummy half. This will be his. He'll enjoy this space. Looking to go out wide. Surprised he didn't run on the left there. Referee's calling time. We've got a player that's down injured. Was down injured.
Yep. Look, city and venue partners from the University of North Florida, the city of Jacksonville, and the city of DeLand have made these games possible in Florida. We want to thank them for their support in growing rugby league in the United States. Look, I'm surprised it's not Maitland who's down, because he was crunched in that tackle when he got driven back about 10 yards, didn't he?
It's hard to know what the referee's calling here, but Burrows playing the ball. There's Tempano. Again, he's been solid as a winger. He comes in, he does so much hard work in the middle when he has to, when he wants to. He comes looking for the ball, and there's John Purnell getting smashed in the tackle.
Yeah, they've still got enough energy left to lay on some big hits, haven't they?
Oh! And Nick Newland there spilling the ball over. That's a costly turnover.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Jamaica back on the attack in great field position, 25 yards out. What can they do with this? Jamaica needs to score.
Well, they're in a golden spot now to do it, aren't they? In midfield,
20 yards,
tackle.
15.
That's the third tackle, I think.
Third tackle on the attack, out to the right. Again, barnstorming run, continuing to go. He could just held short of the line.
And I think he's lost the ball or something.
Referee saying he's lost the ball, and the USA, that's a great result for the US.
Oh,
getting the ball back.
Wasn't that great defense, goal line defense there?
It's an opportunity gone lost for Jamaica, and they're not going to get too many of those with 7.5 minutes left in this second half. The USA 20 points to 10. You wonder with this game, though, should they be leading by more? Should they be up by more? Or is this a fair result of the game we've been watching?
I think this is a fair reflection of the tempo of the game. I still think, though, that the Americans have had the advantage, and here we go.
There's Burrows, and we were waiting for him to get that break. The Jamaicans are flying. He's got plenty of toe, Ryan. He's going to want to stay inside, and there he goes. He's almost over. He's doing a flick pass, which was completely unnecessary, a bit like his style of play. He looks hurt in the tackle there, Burrows.
Well, I'd say he's winded after that big run.
Jamaica back on the attack. This is exciting football from both teams. Burrows does not look good at all. That would be a costly loss if he goes. Jamaica, they're dropping that ball.
That was an excellent run, and from broken play there, and he broke one tackle down in the corner, and I thought he might have got winded by the second guy who hit him in the tackle, and I think he threw that pass because he knew he was going over the touchline.
Well,
I think momentum was carrying him, and he couldn't stop.
It didn't look necessary, but he's definitely hurt. He's struggling, and that might be the end of his day, Ryan Burrows. That would be a shame if he's not available. But let's hope it's just simply that he's winded.
Well, Steve, I can see why you've got big raps on this guy.
And again, really something out of absolutely nothing. Ryan Burrows was able to get away and break free, and again, but you know the speed of which he moves. He looks okay. He's coming back out.
Yeah, look, it just might have been winded. He might have copped the knee and the ribs or something as he was getting shoved over the touchline there.
Full credit to Jamaica, though. They were able to keep up with him and mow him down. I thought once he was through, he was gone.
Look, they didn't give up. One thing you've got to say about Jamaica is there's no quitting these guys.
Well, 6 minutes left. The referee called time. But the USA with the ball back on the attack.
And you know what? If
didn't like that feed or want him to pack down again.
If they score here, you think that would be all she wrote.
There's Tempano there, taking the ball up the middle. USA on the attack, 20 yards out. Let's see what they can do with it.
And there's the skipper again, taking it forward. I don't think he's taken a backward step all night, has he?
He's worked so hard in the engine room for him and really provided that much-needed experience that the US has been lacking in the last couple of games.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a ton of it.
Freed on the attack, short pass, flat pass. Casey Clark did well to hang on to that. Got smashed on the line. Matty Walsh there, he was almost lost his head in that tackle, was able to just settle it down and move the ball up the middle, but the USA 10 yards out, fifth tackle on the attack. Freed, little chip, but it's a short in goal, and that's just too deep. Jamaica will get the ball back on the 20-yard line, back on the attack.
It's a very shallow in goal, isn't it?
And this was Jamaica's last opportunity, you would say, to be able to get two scores. It's a two-score game for them.
Yeah, this set of six, they need to convert it into points. Absolutely have to.
And likewise, USA will want to keep the points continuing on the board for when they go into that Canada match. They'll want to have as many points behind them as possible.
Yeah.
And there's that ball being lost again.
Costly mistake right there.
That really is. And so great field position for the USA on the 40-yard line. On the attack, Tempano settling things, keeping it moving.
You know what? I think Timpano and Makelam have very similar running styles, don't they?
They do, mate. They're just those thick legs that continue to motor up the middle. And Freed on the attack. Oh, big hit there. But he managed to hang on to the ball. Third tackle.
That was Purnell that time.
Out to the right. There's Taylor Alley, and what's the referee called?
Another infringement. Play the ball, mistake. Yeah.
Jamaica rushing to pack that scrum down. They'll want to have the clock stop. 4.5 minutes left. 10-point advantage to the USA. A two-score game to them.
The players and volunteers from the Jacksonville Axemen and the Central Florida Warriors played a big part in event operations here. Find all rugby league teams in the US by visiting usarl.com.
Well, have you enjoyed watching the action tonight? Tuesday night, we'll be coming to you live from DeLand in Florida. where the Canadian Wolverines will get their first crack at the ball. And there's Jamaica on the outside. Moving wide. And geez, when they get that ball, they can motor.
Yeah, he probably should have just pinned the ears back and kept going. Might have had a better chance of, you know, outlasting the cover defence there. And the US did a good job in pushing them back.
I almost think that Jamaica will benefit from this game. Going into Wednesday, they'll have a lot to think about as they want to go, and they've seen the US's play and what's worked for them.
Well, you know what would be interesting? If Jamaica happened to beat Canada, then that puts the US in the box seat, doesn't it?
It really does, but one thing at a time. Jamaica's on the attack. The game's not over yet. Stranger things are happening, and Rugby League has broken the hearts of many people. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. USA leading by a score of 20 points to 10. Little chip kick through.
Oh, he's taken it a touch.
Howden.
Now that's a good play. Good heads-up play there by Wayne Reddy with that kick through.
Jamaica rushing there to pack the scrum down and stop the clock. They're going to get another opportunity. The USA were in good position there, but this will be a travesty for the US team if Jamaica is able to score and close that gap. That was going to put pressure on the other games.
Yeah, Howden, the momentum again, just rolled him across the sideline, didn't it, when he didn't want to.
Jamaica, referee not liking that scrum.
They're going to go to the right, looks like. And they've stacked it. They got Wayne Reddy, the speedster there. He's a first receiver.
Let's see what they can do. 10 yards out. Not much time left. Spinning that ball wide. Looking to go through. On the attack. 15 yards. Second tackle. Jamaica spinning the ball again. Multiple passes. But the USA equal to the challenge. 10 yards out. On the attack. Third tackle. On there, he's come straight through, and he's the referee's going to say no. The referee's going to give it. That's a score, and Jamaica.
He's paying it.
I'd like to see that one again.
I'd certainly like to see that one again.
But the referee is giving it.
You know, he didn't waste any time in making that decision, Steve. I think that's questionable, that one.
He had a good look at it. A better look than we are from where we are up in here. I had the binoculars, and I thought I saw it, and I'd like to see that replay. But the score will stand, and boy, oh boy, this game has just completely closed, and what we thought could have been a blowout has now closed back and made for a very interesting game too. And as we were just talking about, coming to you live from DeLand in Florida on Tuesday night at 7 p.m., Jamaica against Canada. And
oh, he's missed it.
He's pushed it wide, and Jamaica will be on the attack and looking to take advantage. They cannot afford to lose at this point.
I don't think they have golden point in Rugby League World Cup qualifiers, do they? If Jamaica happens to score a converted one in the next 1 3/4 minutes, that ties it up. What happens then? Do they play extra time? Do they have golden point? I don't know.
We'd have to go to the tournament manual.
We'd have to go to the rule book. We'll have to bring in the RLIF.
The USA slow to get back there. They'd like this game to finish now. The referee has called time.
The clock again, yeah.
And with 1.5 minutes left, Jamaica will get another crack at this. And again, this game
it all came from that heads-up play by Wayne Reddy with that kick through that fortuitously for Jamaica saw Howden go into touch with the ball in his hand, and that set him up right there within the quarter.
Well, it's an exciting finish. So on the attack, Jamaica 10 yards on their own line. First tackle, running it up. Almost breaking through, moving that ball freely. 25 yards out. Keeping the ball, quick play the ball. Jamaica keeping that ball moving. Touching so many hands. The USA not giving up yet. 1 minute left on the clock. Third tackle to the left.
Yeah, talk about a dramatic finish.
He overran that pass. Popped it up out of nothing.
It's the kind of finish you want, Steve.
It's exactly the finish you want. Fourth tackle there. Jamaica, what can they do? Back in the middle. Great tackle by the US team. Fifth and last tackle.
Nice one there by Casey Clark.
And he's going to put that little kick in, like so customary in the US. They'll be happy with that. Get the ball and they'll look to wind the clock down. Casey Clark taking that. USA have worked so hard for this. Less than 30 seconds. Looking to slow that play down. Looks like he's hurt the tackle. Timpano there keeping things moving. We're almost getting out of time, less than 10 seconds left. And so the USA with a score of 20 points to 14 coming away victors in this game. Really, for the first game of the Firehouse Subs Rugby League World Cup qualifiers, winning by a score of 20 points to 14.
Is that it?
That will be the ball game. The referee will call time, and the USA has won their very first game, and puts a 5-game streak to an end for them on the international circuit. They're back in the winning position.
And won't they be relieved to be back in the winner's circle, or is it over yet? Maybe not.
No, the referee is going to allow one more play.
Well, I guess you go by the referee's watch, not the clock on the scoreboard. And he's saying we've still got a couple of seconds left. So it's time enough to pack one scrum, and Jamaica gets the put in.
Let's see what they can do with it.
Oh, man,
Not much happening.
Got to roll the dice here. Yep.
No, he's put the chip kick on. That's it's hot dog stuff.
That's a very messy set to finish the
It's
game.
about as ugly as it can get.
Double
and the
knock
referee
on.
will say it's a double
Oh,
knock.
now he's saying it's a...
And then that's time. And,
Nice.
so that's the game. And the USA comes away victors, 20 points to 14 for game one. We'll be back here in DeLand on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We'd love for you to join us. This is a 3-game series in the Rugby League World Cup qualifiers. The USA coming away victors. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to the Jamaican team, but they will get a second crack at it on Tuesday night against Canada. I'm Steve Williams. With me, Brian Lowe from Rugby League Planet. Thanks very much for joining us.